Hello and welcome to Talk with the Times. I'm your host, David D'Onofrio. I'm pleased to be joined by Tony Howard, President and CEO of the Loudoun County Chamber of Commerce. Coming off a great breakfast this morning with most of the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors, there's certainly a ton on the agenda for 2011. So Tony, what is the Chamber really focused on coming forward in 2011?
Well, if I had to boil it down, we have a 16-page public policy agenda.
It's very extensive and very detailed.
It is, and there's a lot of finite details in there, but if I could boil that entire document and our entire agenda down, it's really about economic development and growing jobs and tax base here in Loudoun County and throughout Northern Virginia. And everything we do drives towards those very simple but very audacious goals.
Well, I think probably at the top of that driving economic development is the coming of rail to Loudoun County. What's the Chamber thinking on all of that?
Well, that's clearly an economic development game changer. Loudoun County is one of the few jurisdictions, I believe the only jurisdiction in the greater Washington area that's not served by commuter rail or by an interstate system. And we've been able to succeed in spite of those, but to have a commuter rail line, Metro, coming to Dulles Airport into 2 stops into Loudoun County. We're now calling it Rail to Loudoun, not just Rail to Dulles, but to connect us to the nation's capital and to the entire greater DC area via a commuter rail line is going to be an economic development game changer. The connectivity is going to be important, but also the economic development opportunities that will be existent at the airport, the 2 stops in Loudoun County, and let's not forget about the Route 28 station. Though physically located in Fairfax County, most of the economic development opportunities exist on the other side of the border in Loudoun County. So we're looking to that really as half a Loudoun station. Right,
certainly. And then the 28 station leads right into the 28 CPAM that's on the agenda for the Board of Supervisors this year. Obviously, the Chamber has some thoughts on that as well.
We do. And there you go, dropping jargons. I don't know if most folks know what a CPAM is, but essentially it's the plan for Route 28. Route 28 is going to be Loudoun County's, and is right now, our greatest economic development opportunity. We can leverage the Dulles Rail project when it comes here in 2016, when it finally is open in Loudoun County, to really sort of advance some policies today that will allow us to take advantage of that. And by that I mean is, how can we turn 28 into the stellar gateway to Loudoun County with some of the Class A office complexes and developments that will generate jobs, generate commercial tax dollars that will also provide economic opportunity for our businesses throughout Loudoun County, and take the burden off of the residential taxpayers as well as the farmers and others right now who are carrying right now the highest tax rate in all of Northern Virginia. So we need to develop that commercial tax base, and the greatest opportunity to do so is in Route 28. So Dulles Rail and the Route 28 plan, CPAM as it's known, are really the 2 great opportunities that we need to work on today. January of 2011 is not too soon to start working on these things so we can leverage the coming of rail in 2016.
Well, it is never too early to get going on something as grand as all of that. Other things that are on the agenda for the Board of Supervisors and the Chamber of Commerce this year, signs, other things for the Chamber?
Well, you know, we're close to the finish line.
We're standing in front of a nice sign right here, but there's sometimes some issues with signs out and
I'm proud of it. I'm proud. You know, one of the most confounding experiences I had during my nearly 5 years of tenure at the Loudoun County Chamber of Commerce is when I talked to a business owner or an entrepreneur. They love Loudoun County for many respects, but when the issue of signs come up, it's hard for me sometimes to fathom, it's hard for any layperson to fathom how difficult it is to get the right kind of sign. And sometimes it's not always easy to comprehend. Why a sign is so important for a business? It's one of the greatest marketing tools they have. It's a wayfinding tool, it's a safety tool. It's very important for a business to have a good sign. And Loudoun County does not have a very easy to use system for getting the right kind of signage. The Board of Supervisors, to its credit, has listened to the concerns as articulated by the business community on this issue. There is a core group of volunteers who have been working for more than 3 years on this issue, working with staff, working with the board and the Planning Commission. The Chamber of Commerce has been squarely behind this effort, and we are right now at the board level. They are considering the proposal right now to make it more user-friendly, less complex, just make it something that could be more of an economic development tool without doing anything to detract from the visual beauty that Loudoun County boasts. Nobody is interested in making that happen. So that's a balancing act. We think we've actually constructed a proposal that will achieve that balance, and we're looking forward to the board's approval, expeditious approval, that is.
You optimistic for 2011?
Yeah, very much so. I think that 2010 was a good year for the Loudoun County Chamber. It's a good year for many businesses. There's still a great deal of many challenges out there being faced by individuals and businesses, so we have to be realistic about that. I feel like we're turning a corner. I also feel like it's a pretty long corner, too, as well. So there's a lot of hard work still ahead, but I'm very optimistic about 2011.
And just to wrap up, anybody in particular that you'd like to highlight that's going to be at any of the Chamber events that you want to talk about?
Sure. Our annual meeting is coming up on January 27th, and we are proud to have a Loudoun County resident and former acting director of the Central Intelligence Agency. He was second in command at the CIA on 9/11, and he has a wealth of experience in the intelligence field. In fact, is still in it, even though he's retired. His name is John McLaughlin, and he is our keynote speaker. It's also a big deal to the Chamber. It's where we welcome in our new chairman of the board of directors, as well as our new directors, and we say thank you to our outgoing director. Our new chairman is Tom Moeller from Yount, Hyde & Barbour, CPA firm. We'll also take an opportunity to say thank you to Ralph Barner from TELUS Corporation for his great leadership in 2010. It was a good year in 2010. And it happened because of the leadership that the Chamber is blessed to have, and so we're going to say thank you to him. And it's a big deal for the Chamber, and I invite folks to come on out and see us at the National Conference Center for lunch on January 27th.
Well, fantastic. Tony, thank you so much for joining us
pleasure.
today. Obviously, a lot on the agenda. Loudoun Chamber squarely in the middle of all of it. Stay tuned each week for a Talk with the Times as we go in depth into all of these issues and try to find some issues of our own to deal with. So I'm David D'Onofrio. This has been Talk with the Times.